Well, hello there, all you amazing people. So while my computer here or my VM is starting up, I will talk a little bit about what we're going to do today. We're going to do the first video of our health app in C#. And I expect you guys and girls in this robot to have like basic programming or understanding and basic C# understanding. If not, there will be a link down below to 1 or 2 videos about getting started with C#. I will find the best one I can find that's also having the most information. So I recommend watching those. So what we are going to do today when all of this is starting up is we are going to make a calorie tracker. That's the right word. So this would be the first video in a series of about 3 videos where we do a calorie tracker, a BMI calculator in terminal form, and then we will make a UI in Win UI 3, where we then will take what we learn here and put into basically having a really bare bones simple fitness app. These are simple programs, so you don't need to be advanced, but just understand a little bit about C#. So what we're going to do first here is open up a good old terminal. Not terminal, well, we do need a terminal, but let's do download. Let's make a new folder. Let's call it C for calorie, or track for calorie tracker. We'll go into that folder, open in terminal, and you need to have .NET installed, of course, to do this, because we are going to use C# and .NET. So what we do here is basically just do .NET new console. And we can set it to a framework. So if I do this here, you will see framework .NET 7.0. We don't really want to specify a framework, at least not for this one here, because it's really simple. So just do in the folder, either navigate through the CLI window, the PowerShell, or the Windows terminal, or as I do, just make a folder, open the terminal. And this is also going to work on Linux or any other Mac OS, any other .NET supported platform, because what we're doing right now is doing .NET, C# .NET, really simple. We're not using any Windows specific. That's Win UI 3, that's Windows specific. So we run this here right now, and it's going to basically generate a template or a bare bone project for us, and you can see it's in here. So I just need to make sure that my head is not covering anything up. There you go. So if you go in here, we do .NET run, we should get a hello world thingy-ma-doozy coming up here. And you can see it's compiling it, and it should execute it. Oh, and it will take a little bit of time the first time you do it. So here it's like .NET hello world. So if you do it again, it should be a little bit faster. You see it's a little bit faster. And you saw here it generated some folder. Says we're going to debug 7.0. This is actually the program we have right now, but we're not going to use that. We're just going to go back to Cal Tracker here. So you can use Vision Studio. You can use Notepad, you can use whatever editor you want for this. In this case here, I do like using Visual Studio Code because it's really convenient and have a lot of plugins you can use and stuff like that. So we're going to open Visual Studio Code. So we have Visual Studio. I used to call it Virtual Studio Code because I'm a stupid guy, but we don't want to take a survey. What we want to go now is open a folder, and then we need to open the folder we basically just created. Cal Tracker, this one here. Select that folder, and we will trust the author, and we don't want to sign in. It's because of a plugin I have for C#, and it's opening it up. This can also take a little bit of time because Visual Studio is doing, or Visual Studio Code is doing its thing in the back end. This is the program we're going to work with, and you can see here console.write line hello world. This is what we're doing, and you may ask, well, C# is kind of like Java. It has everything is a class and blah blah blah. They have simplified C# quite a bit, so kind of almost like writing a Python program right now, because all of that, I call it unnecessary stuff that you see on your screen with no namespace and class, all that, that's hidden behind in a separate place. We don't need to think about that for the things that we're doing right here. Again, this is really simple. Another thing that I want you to do is go into your folder again, go into your C drive, and go in here and make a temp folder. You can see I actually have a file in here. So this temp folder is where we are going to do some stuff with writing to files. So you learn how to write to files right now. Why do it in a temp folder? Have a file. C#, there are 10,000 ways to skin a cat, slaughter a cow, build a house. We can go in and do like registry entries, saving stuff in registry. We can save stuff in other places. Writing to a text file is really simple, it's really easy, and it gives you a virtualized understanding of what's actually going on. But for the sake of this here, this is really dumb and simple calorie tracker. We're just going to do text files. So leave that over here. Or well, let's make, well, we already have it open. So let's make 2 text files. So let's make a new text file, text document. And this one here should be target calorie. So let's say target C. Then we need another one that's left, calories left. So that would be cal left. So what this basics are doing, and we can do this right, or at least the target C here, put in the target calories that you want to set. So if you're about 6'4", kind of like in your 30s, late 30s, 40s, you may need about 2,500 calories. You need to calculate that yourself. That's what a basic metabolic rate is doing, like BMR. Go calculate that with your activity and stuff like that. When you do, if you are going to calculate your basic metabolic rate, don't take in activity. So it will ask you how active you are. Just say you are not active at all if you want to lose weight. But for this case, we're just going to do 2,500. That's the amount of calories that we can use a day and either maintain our weight, or in my case, because I'm tall and fat, I would actually lose weight eating 2,500 calories a day. So we need to use this one here later on in the program. This one here, the program is going to write to that file. So we can keep them over here. So the first thing we want to do is basically just show our target calories. Basically what we just made here. We want to show that one. So if we go in here and we delete this console white line, because we don't need that right now. What we do need, we need a string. And there should be, there you go, IntelliJ, what it's called. And let's call that target. It's really hard because I have a microphone that's blocking my keyboard. And that target, so we are making a string variable. You can also just do this here. Variable. But I kind of like to know what they are. So this is a string. If you don't want that, you can do that. So what we want is to basically load this file here. This file here into a variable that we are then printing out to the console that we're seeing down here. So to do that, we need to do file. And it's already down here. Dot read all. It's already auto-explaining a lot of things for us. So it's file.readAll text, and then the path to the text. And the text is this one here. So you can go about it more different ways. You can go in here and you can copy as path. I think this should work. You can put it in there. Yep, now we have it here. What you need to remember to do is have an @ sign here. And again, if you want to know why you need to have that, go watch some of the videos, or the video that I'm posting down below. So right now, we are basically putting this text file into this variable. So let's just print that variable. So let's do console. And it's already, it already helped us remember. So console.writeLine, parentheses, and then in here we can put in target. Oh, there you go. I don't know what happened there. Target calorie. So just say cal. Oh, we forgot the plus sign. We need to have a plus sign in here. And we don't need the comma. There you go. I have a cheat sheet where I can look at, because I already wrote this program. So right now, we have a string that is reading this file and then printing it out to the terminal. So if we do .NET run down here in the terminal, and yes, you guys and girls can see it, we should now get 2,500. Here, target calories 2,500. So if I let's say 3,000, or let's be really fucking, we are monster here, 5,500. Let's save that in here. And we go in here and we run it again. We now have 5,500. So now we need another information, because this one here gave us the target. We also want calories left. So when we are running the program, it's giving us the target calories and how many calories we have left. And then it's going, of course, we have to put in how many calories that say this bar here is. I just bought a bar here, chocolate bar, that we actually can use as an example now that we added here. We are going to do the exact same thing as up here. So you can actually just copy paste this here. And then instead of calling it target, we're going to call this variable cal left. And we can just copy this as path, put that in here. Oh, we have too many bunny ears. There you go. And we need to change this to cal left. And it found the variable there. We need to change the text here to cal left. And this is for 1 day, so left of the day for the day. We can do that also. Left for the day. We can save that, and if we run this right now, we get 5,500, and then we get a 0 because there's nothing in here. We have not put anything in there. It has not calculated it. So what it's going to do is that we are now going to input the calories of this chocolate bar. And then it will put in this chocolate bar redacted or removed from the 5,500 calories. And then that will be what we have left for the day. So every time we start up the program, it will tell us the target. And then if we have put data in how much food we've eaten over the day, it will then say, this is how much you have left. So to do that, we have to basically prompt the user, because we're now going to have user input. So a way to prompt the user is, first we need to type something that, make the user aware that they need to put something in. So let's just do a console write line again, or write the line. Yep, let's do this. And we don't need calories left. Cal of meal. So this is how much calorie the meal that you're going to eat is, this candy bar here. And then we are going to get user input. So we're going to do a string again. And this is really important. We need the exclamation mark. Is it a string? Again, if you really want to know what that is, watch the videos down below. We could talk about why you need this forever and ever and ever. And then we can call it, we need, of course, a variable, so we can call that, let's just call it meal. And now we need user input, and that is console read line. It actually found it, so dot read line. And then, of course, we need the parentheses, and we need the semicolon. I never remember what these are called. So what we need to do now is that now all the magic is going to happen. This one, these things up here is kind of simple. What we want to do now is that if there should be something in this here, in this text file here, calories left, we basically need to empty it out. And again, like I said, there are thousands of ways of doing things in C#. This is just the most simple and convenient way that I find doing it. Maybe there's more simpler ways. I don't know. But we need to do file, because we need to mess with a file. As you see here, file, read all. Now we need to write all. It's really clever. It's really clever. So dots, and then we can just do tab to write all. And then we need to, basically, let's do this here. It remembers the @ symbol. So which one do we need to clear? We need to clear this text left. So we could either just type it in, or because we are lazy mofos, we're just doing this. And then we basically just need to pass in basically an empty string, or basically just fill the document with nothing. So that's string dot empty. That's as simple as it is. For us to do basic math, these up here are strings. So if I hover over the mouse, you can say local variable string cal left. This is a string. For us to be able to do magic or math on it, we need to convert the string into an integer, and in this case into a integer 32. So to do that, we now need to make an integer, int. You can also do a var if you want. So I call this convert. This is basically for converted. And again, best practices with how to correctly name a variable and stuff like that. Read up on this. I'm just doing it so it's easily understandable for me. So this is not best practices in any way, shape, or form. Just putting that out there. So we want to convert cal left. And this is the variable. We need to convert cal left into an integer called converted or conv underscore cal left. And then we make an equal sign. And now we need to convert cal left. So we have it right there. And it actually, see here, it actually remembers a lot of stuff here. So dot 2, we can also do a 16-bit, but we can also do a 64-bit, but we're just doing a 32. And then we're just filling this one out here, auto-filled out, but it's left. So it's cal left we need to convert. This one here, and I, by mistake, did some stuff. I'm all over the place today. There you go. And then we need to convert this one here, because this is also an input. This is a string. Again, a string. It's a string we're putting in, you know, we're using our keyboards. We can all, and then reading out a string. We can also log it. Again, there's many ways of doing this. We can do it so it only allows us to take in numbers and not characters. But for simplification, we're just doing it this way. So again, we need to make an integer. And this one here is going to be called con, because we're converting meal. And how do we convert the meal? Well, it's already here for us. Convert.toInt32 meal. So we're converting what's in this text here with the meal. And then we are going to basically take away the calories of the meal for the calories left in here. So let's say the meal is 50 calories and we have 5,000 calories left. So we're taking 50 away from 5,000 calories. That will then give us 5,000 or 4,950 calories left. You get the idea here. So to do that, we're just making an integer again, and that will be the sum. Let's just be really original. And then we are going to do con. This is just simple mathematics. So we're taking the variable or the integer variable con left. So what's already in here, and then we are taking convert real from it, away from it. I hope this makes sense. So now we need to write, you know, the sum here, because now we made a new basically calories left number, and we need to rewrite that into the file that we just cleared up here. So we need to do a file and write all. So that would be, we need cal left again, so we can just copy this one up here. You can hard code it in if you want. And what we need to do here, we don't need to do string, we need to do the variable sum. And then we are converting that back to a string. You can see it's already the first one up here. And we need the parentheses, and we need the semicolon. So now we need to basically display the new calories left. And this is, you don't need to do this, but I kind of like doing this to display the new, you know, what is the new calorie left for the day kind of thing. We need to do a string again. And this, and we will call this new cal left. And we need to read something. So it's file.readAll.text. It already remembers sitting here. And what is the text? I think we already have copied it. It's the it's the temp, the text file in the C temp folder. This one here that now got the new value from the math we did up here. And then we basically just want to write that into the console. So we're doing console.write line, it's down here, and doing this little thing here, and we need to be new cal, what can we call it? Yeah, new cal left. Oh, that's too many spaces. And we need a plus sign, and then we need the new cal left variable. So again, this here should now work if everything goes. So to make this a little bit more easier to play with, we are going to just open the folder, do it in the terminal here. So let's do this here, and apparently there's a new PowerShell update. So if I do go in here, this should work now. So if we do .NET run, so target calories, nothing. Calorie left for the day, nothing. Well, target calories is 5,500, sorry. Calories left for the day is nothing. Calorie of the meal, how much is there in this candy bar here? This is 400 gram. We're just pretending this is a massive 100 gram calorie bar. So in this one here, in 100 grams, there is 468 calories. So 468, we basically ate almost a whole meal if we ate 100 grams of this one here. So we press enter. And there is something here that I don't understand. I fucked up. I think I know what's wrong. It's because in cal left, we need to set the daily. This is why we reset it daily. So it needs to have a number in here. I'm so stupid. So it should work right now. Yeah, target of the day, cal left for the day. Of course, we need, when you start a new day, you need the current day's target. That's 5,500 calories. So let's try and do 468 was the thing here. Now we got a new one. So new calories left is 5,033. That's just me having a brain fart. You cannot have you cannot do math with no value. That's basically what it's saying here. It should now set, shit. There you go. We now get the new number, 5,033. So let's say you eat a 500 calorie meal. Now this is what you have left. So you go in again here. Now you get a really big meal. Now you get like a 1,200,000 calories meal. Not 1,200,000. 1,200,000 calories, shit. 1,200 calorie meal. You get what I'm saying here. How this works, let me explain it in a way so even my simple mind can figure it out. In the temp folder, we have a target calorie. This is the target this is how much I can eat each day. This one here is your daily current calorie allowance. So if every time you start a new day, you have to go in and do 5,500. You can also make a variable that do it. You can also make a program that do it automatically and stuff like that. The reason why I don't do this automatically right now is that when we are going to do it in the WinUI 3 application or UI, it's automatic. There will be a button that says new day, and then it will automatically put in the value. It will basically take the value for the it will take the value from this one here and put in here every time you click new day. So that's why in this case here it's not necessary, because like I said, these things we're doing here is going to build on each other to do the final fitness app or health app or what you will call it. It's a new day, so I go in here and I reset this to 5,500. I save it. It's morning. I go in here and I need to put in my breakfast, and that's 1,000 calories. Now I can eat 4,500 left. But what we are doing right now, we are building up the back logic or the back end for the health app. See you all later. Bye bye.